In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro discusses the recent actions taken by Governor Greg Abbott of Texas to enforce the state's border in response to the ongoing crisis at the southern border. Shapiro begins by highlighting the measures that Texas has already taken, such as installing fencing and barriers in the Rio Grande, which have been objected to by the federal government. He criticizes President Joe Biden for his border policies, which he describes as facilitating illegal immigration and drug smuggling, and accuses Biden of abdicating his constitutional duties. Shapiro emphasizes the federal government's responsibility to protect the borders of the United States and enforce immigration laws. He points out that leaving the border open incentivizes drug cartels to smuggle drugs and people into the country, leading to a surge in illegal immigration. He also highlights the impact of illegal immigration on the American population, including the influx of illegal immigrants and the spread of drugs like fentanyl. Shapiro discusses the legal and constitutional implications of Texas's actions and the federal government's response. He references a historic letter issued by Governor Abbott, in which Abbott accuses the federal government of breaking the compact between the United States and the states by failing to enforce immigration laws. Abbott invokes Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the Constitution, which reserves to the states the right of self-defense in the event of an invasion. Shapiro delves into the legal precedent set by a 2010 case involving Arizona's immigration law, where the Supreme Court ruled on the issue of federal preemption and the state's authority to enforce immigration laws. He explains the complexities of invoking the constitutional authority to defend against invasion in the context of illegal immigration and the potential implications for Texas's actions. Shapiro also addresses the potential consequences of the state-federal standoff, drawing parallels to historical precedents and discussing how such standoffs have been resolved in the past. He emphasizes the need for the federal government to enforce the border and protect the American people, and criticizes President Biden for his border policies. Shapiro then shifts his focus to the upcoming 2024 election, analyzing the potential strategies of both Joe Biden and Donald Trump. He emphasizes the importance of appealing to independent voters and suburban moms, suggesting that Trump's aggressive and confrontational approach may not be the most effective in winning over these demographics. He also critiques Trump's recent attacks on Nikki Haley and Tim Scott, expressing concern that such behavior may alienate potential voters. The discussion then turns to the endorsement of Joe Biden by the United Auto Workers and the implications of this endorsement for the upcoming election. Shapiro questions the effectiveness of Biden's policies in supporting working-class Americans, pointing out the potential impact of rising inflation and economic challenges. Shapiro also addresses the ongoing conflict in the Middle East and the Biden administration's response to the situation. He highlights the need for a ceasefire and expresses concern about the mounting casualties in the region. He also critiques the administration's handling of the conflict, suggesting that a different approach may be necessary to address the humanitarian crisis.